What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Ignition EDH video. Today we are going to be cracking our first box of Strixhaven. We had a lot of fun in the pre-release last night, and we decided to open up a case. So here's the first box.
Guys, we just want to thank Nexus 2 for sponsoring us to do these pack openings, guys. If you haven't been in the Waco area, man, we recommend you stopping by and come check them out.
All right. We're going to be distributing the trash on the ground today because that's all we can do. What's your guys' favorite card from the new set? Oh, actually, so my name's Bryant, since this is probably going to be our first video, and you guys don't know about us. And we also have Colin here, and then we have Chris that's in the corner over there hiding like a weirdo. We're also obviously not going to be too PG on this channel, so starting with that, we're going to get this first crack pack open.
Really looking to pull some heat on these, man.
Yeah, hoping for that D tutor, you know? Little demonic tutor. Actually, vamp tutor, right?
There's vamp tutor in this
Vamp
set.
tutor in this set. All right. How's that look, guys?
I want the just because
I'm liking it.
Okay. Let's get through the commons here. Edgar Glyph Mage. Terra
Man, the art in
Fractal.
this set is just gorgeous.
Little Inkling mascot. We got our first student. We got Abigail here. She's got flying, and she's a 2/3, and she's also got that that new thing, becoming prepared when she ETBs. That's pretty nice. Impractical Joke. Fractal Tender. Our first rare, we got Informed Inkrite with Repartee. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell that targets a creature, you can make a 1/1 black Inkling creature token with flying. Oh, all right. So this is the Mystical Archives from this set. We got Locust Spray. Target creature gets -1/-1. It has also cycling for 1 black.
Yeah, cycling's one of those things that a lot of people don't really do.
No, it's
And they're
it's
so-
definitely a
so good.
secondary thing. And we got a foil land in the first pack. Let's go. Foil land. All right, and we'll put these off to the side, and we'll get the second pack ripped.
Man, those mystical archives are just gorgeous.
Yeah, I kind of like those. I also like that they brought back arts on the different sleeves on the packs, which is really nice. So let's get in the second pack. All right. Got Rapier Whipped into a Deluge Virtuoso. Expressive Fire Dancer. Follow the Lumerits. Berg Banemaker. Wilt in the Heat. Bibliclex Townkeeper. I can't read today. All right, into the uncommons. We got Artixis Process. Lewin. All right, another student with the makes a pest whenever you exile a creature card. So really good token maker. Tester of Tangentula. All right. Ooh, we got the Planar Engineering. This is a great card that's going to be good for standard right now. You get to pay 4, sack 2 lands, search a library for 4 basic lane cards, and put them on the battlefield tapped. So this is probably like a turn 3 win, which they already had. Okay, we got a pretty good one, guys. We got Flusterstorm. It's a mythic 1-drop, and you counter target instant sorcery spell unless the controller pays 1, and it has Storm, so you can do that multiple times. It's a pretty nice card. All right. I guess we should probably put the rares drops, and then we all get Deluge Virtuoso and Spectacle Summit with an Elemental and Treasure token at the end.
Yeah, one thing I've really noticed about this set, though, too, man, is even the commons and uncommons, there's a lot of playable stuff in it compared to other sets.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely shake up the metas for sure, especially with them putting the those prepared spells on creatures now. So you get
Fantastic.
yeah, reprinting. If we pull it today, reprinting Ancestral Recall on a 5/5 body is about the dumbest thing they've ever done. All right, we're going into pack 3. We got Run Behind, Tome Blast, Shopkeeper's Bane, Pull from the Grave, a Johnny's Response, a Visionary's Dance, Aberrant Mana Worm, Lecturing Storm Maids. All right, we got Tam. Tam's pretty good. You get to draw a card and gain a life with whenever a land enters, so you get to do that pretty much every turn. We got Kilt Blade Lorette. I think we're onto the rare. Yep. Storing Hope Slingers. This card was crazy in pre-release. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery card that targets a creature, you put a counter on each creature you control. So that's anytime you target any creature. So, guys, a crazy pre-release card. You got Burst Lightning. Great format. Awesome art with the guys getting freaking destroyed there. All right, we got us charging, and then first full art basic land, guys. What you think? It's very nice.
Gorgeous.
Freaking awesome over here with all the basic lands going on. And then cool fractal token with the spirit on the back.
I'm not disappointed in any of the art in this. Any of the art in this set at all.
It's been pretty nice as I completely destroy the camera.
Guys, bear with us. This is our first stream. First recording.
First recording, so it's going to get worse from here, just letting you know. All right. We got quick study, a nice little 3-drop draw, too. Gotta love cards like that. There's too many of them now. Unstable Mockery into a Mindful Biomancer. Olna Alley Shopkeep. Page Loose Leaf. Fractal Mascot. We got an Abstract Paint Mage, which is just a crazy card. At the beginning of your first main, for 3-drop, beginning of your first main phase, add a blue and a red. Spend this mana only cast instant sorcery spells. But crazy card to have in the what's the school called? We're all gonna completely mess that up. Dissection Practice. All right. We got Snarl Song. Okay, we got our next rare. We got Conciliator's Duelist. Whenever this creature enters, you draw a card and each player loses a life. Also has Repartee. Whenever you cast an instance or sorcery spell, that target is a creature, exile to one target creature. Return that card on the battlefield under its owner's step at the beginning of the next end step. So re-triggering your good things. Okay. Got Sleight of Hand here. Look at the top 2 cards of the library. Put one of them into your hand and the other on the bottom. So nice little one drop card spell. And then a foil Hydromancer into a very cool swamp. If you guys can see that art, it's pretty nice. And we got the fractal into a pest token.
And to touch on that card, Prismari.
Prismari is that school, yes, because you got Witherbroom, Prismari, Silver Quill, Lorehold. Lorehold is the I'm used to calling them by the other things, the Ravnica schools. Yeah. It's very hard to switch over. Okay, on to the next pack.
I'm a Witherbroom student myself.
Are you? You got the black in you, a little black green going. It's really nice little graveyard actions. Except it's life gain, which is wild amounts of life gain in this set.
Wild for green.
Yep.
They needed more.
Oh yeah, definitely didn't have enough of life gain going on. Okay, we got Petitioner's Trove, which is an interesting new mana guy. We got another Abigail. All right, already getting some repeats. That's fun. Impractical Joke. Damage can't be prevented. Oh, that's just a Lightning Strike that deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. So not as good as Lightning Strike, because Lightning Strike's any target. But this guy's kind of crazy. It's a 5-drop. That's a 3/3. And then at the beginning of each end step, if you put a counter on this creature, you make a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token and put 3 counters on it. But you have to trigger its increment cost. So it's a 5-drop that comes down and does nothing unless you increment it once. All right, we got the new Mana Drain if you have a wizard token. So everybody knows how good Mana Drain is. I doubt this one is anywhere close to that. Ooh, Stargaze. They went all out with the set and these arts. This is just so pretty. And it was just printed, but they had decided to print it again because it's a pretty card. Oh, we got a foil Resonating Loot. This is lands you have 2 mana to cast any one color. Spend this mana only to cast instants and sorcery spells. And then also has tap to draw a card. Activate only if you have 7 or more cards in your hand. So it's also Library of Alexandria attached to a freaking card. And then if you see the foiling, it has the Prismari on the back right there, which is really cool.
So much potential with that card.
So much cool. And then they have this new land cycle where they have it enters tapped. It's a red and a white, and it also has pay 4 to surveil 1. So really nice in your little mana sink for the pre-release you got going on, which hopefully you guys went out and supported your local game stores with the pre-release action. Not sure when this video is going to be going up, but this is the day after the Friday for pre-release, so we're probably going to be doing a couple today. We love our limited action on here. All right, we got our next pack here. We got Rehearsed Debater, Spellbook Seeker into a Seize the Spoils, a Hungry Graphalon. What the hell is that thing? It's a giraffe. How many giraffes are in Magic?
It's a fantastic card for pre-release, though.
Hey, a 4-drop with increment. All you have to do is, on your next spell, play a 4-drop, and you're already making a big dude. And he's reaching too, which is there's the black white deck is flying all over the place as I speak. Freaking a flying that whenever he ETBs, you gain 2 and you ping your other 2 for 2. All right, we got Praise the Pass. We got Pigment Wrangler, which has Striking Palette attached to it. Whenever you cast your next instant sorcery spell, you copy that spell. So that's pretty cool. 6 drop to copy your next spell. That's really nice. Additional cast this spell, you exile 2 cards from the graveyard or pay 2. That's pretty cool. So that's a 3-drop 4/3 with Flying and Vigilance, and all you have to do is exile 2 cards from your graveyard. So that's a pretty nice card.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. This is the social snub. That girl looks like she's having a great time, just crying, running away from the vampires. All right, we got a new board wipe, Pox Plague, which looks creepy as hell. Each player loses half their life and then discards half the cards in their hand, then sacrifices half the permanents they control of their choice, rounded down each time. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and need that one.
that's you want that one? That's pretty good. All right, guys, we have the most common Elder Dragon here. You're probably gonna pull one because we all did. This is the Silver Quill, the Disputant, and it gives each instant and sorcery spell you cast has casualty 1. As you cast that spell, you may sack a creature with power 1 or greater, and when you do, you copy that spell. So just make a bunch of tokens, and you get to copy all your instant sorcery spells. It's pretty good. All right, we got our next mystical archive, which is the Requisition Raid, which was just printed in OTJ. I think was the first time it was printed. So a lot of reprints, but really nice that getting some cool arts for stuff that's still in standard. All right, we got a nice foils, a couple foils in the back there. Elemental and a treasure token. All right, on to the next pack here. Hope you guys are enjoying this. We're gonna be putting some pricing on the screen too for this if we can figure out how to do that. Again, this is our first time, so be gentle. Okay, we got Cheerful Osteomancer. We got Shared Acolyte, which is a little lifelinking guy. We got Essence Scatter, always a good reprint to be going on with a counter spell. This guy makes a treasure token on ETB, so that's pretty nice. Glorious Decay, another destroys some stuff. Terror Fractal, saw that card already. All right. Man, the print quality is being interesting. These are very dark cards if you look at it. That uncommon is very dark. Got Zamone's Experiment, usually a good thing to have one of the main characters' name on a spell. Borrow Knowledge. We also have Micah, Reader of Runes. Ward, pay 3 life. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may sack an artifact. If you do, copy that spell. A lot of copy spells in this set. If you
A lot of wards as well.
a lot of ward. Ward is they just were like, you know what, we're gonna put ward on everything.
Everything.
Okay. So this is a new pinger land, only for instants and sorceries, but it also turns into a wizard for 5. And it just persists to be a wizard, which is really nice. And then also has whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, this creature gets +1/0. So almost prowess, but not as good as prowess, obviously. All right, well, I'm skipping cards, but we got Return the Favor over here. A really nice spell for anything. It's still in standard, so you got a really cool art to play in there.
It's gorgeous. I mean,
Yeah,
literally, you cannot beat the art in the set.
They went kind of ham, if I'm gonna lie. We also got Killian's Confidence and a Forced. All right, I think we're going to speed it up a little bit here. We've seen most of the commons and uncommons. And honestly, there's only one uncommon, I think, that is over $1. So literally looking at this set, there's not too much past that point. All right, so we got a Flight Interceptor, a Chase Inspiration, Rebel Rouser, Wild Hypothesis, The Last Gasp, Grapple with Death.
Fantastic
That's
removal.
really, really good in the Golgari.
I wish it was instant, but sorcery just as good. Fantastic. More life gained. Everything seems to be in need of life gain to do anything.
Yeah, that's for sure. So this is a new Arnett, which I feel like I've heard that creature before for sure. Whenever a creature you control with power toughness 1 or less dies, target opponent loses. Oh, so it's just a better Blood Artist. As long as you have toughness 1.
Take
I mean,
that out
Blood.
of the set. Take it out of the set. No, Blood Artist is already terrible.
Blood
No.
Artist is already terrible, so now they just have a
No.
new one that pings for 2. This one's pretty fun too. Uncommons are kind of crazy. Return up to X target instant sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. You could return quite a few for this, and then you exile it afterwards. So kind of weird that you have mill a card, put 2 counters on a target creature, and it gains trample until it. So it's pretty nice. Can I open pack? That'd be cool. All right, we got Mine into Matter. This is pretty fun. This is probably the best draw card spell or big draw card spell that they've printed because you actually get something. You don't just draw a whole bunch of cards. So it's a green and a blue and X. You draw X cards, then you may put a permanent mana value X or less from your hand on the battlefield tapped. So in Standard, if you're fishing for a pretty good card and you haven't drawn something, you know, you can just pay 10 mana into this and completely just drop a Crater Hoof on the battlefield. All right, we got the reprint of Stock Up. Everybody knows this card because everybody's played against it and hates it. And they just seem to keep making these cards better. And Stock Up is obviously one of the good ones. So we're keeping in the theme of Stock Up. And if you're looking to open packs and open value, this is still like sitting at $8 for a Stock Up right now, which is just fantastic. Got the little elemental mascot in the foil and the white-black land. And then it seems like a lot of fractal tokens. A lot of fractal tokens.
Oh, no, guys.
Fractals is pretty great.
On the volume-wise, you may hear some screaming, talking. I have a daughter. She's here on the screen with us, just kind of watching here on the video.
We're trying to keep her out of the camera, but if she throws a hand in there, you know why. Kids, right? All right. So we got our next pack here. We're going to start rolling through this even quicker. Little Glyph Mage, Run Behind. We got a Tome Blast. Let's see, where's the best one? Okay, we got Inkling Mascot. Fractal Mascot. We're pulling all the mascots. All right, we got the Charms here too, which all the new Charms are pretty fire. Dual Tactics, which the red thing is Flashback, which is really nice. Got Campus Composer. Little Stand Your Ground, destroyed. That's normal. All right, we got Maelstrom Artisan. I'm sure nobody's gonna have fun with this in Standard.
Not at all.
ETB's prepared, and then it has destroyed target non-basic land to screw over all your friends. Always gotta love that. Whoa.
Ooh.
We got
Ooh.
Angel's Grace, Split Second, which
Second.
is just a dumb ability that they've put on cards before. You can't lose this game this turn, and then your opponents can't win the game this turn until end of turn damage that would be reduced your life total less than when done, reduces it to 1 instead. So it's a nice card to have and definitely a staple in some. I don't see too many people run this card, but pretty much just turns off somebody trying to kill you. And then we got Pretty Swamp. So they went crazy with these, I think. This is basically them just casting a big ass spell with that color set, and it's just gorgeous. All right, going on to the next pack here. We got Sonar on this one. Hopefully he brings us good luck to pull Sonar. That's the one we haven't pulled yet. And hopefully we get another Elder Dragon. We've only seen the Silver Coal one. We know that Witherbroom is probably the one that everyone's trying to fish for, and he's also the rarest one. So Wizards did a good job on doing that. Got Dig Site Inventory, Textbook, Tabulator, Heated Argument, Embrace the Paradox. We got the Lorehold Charm. This guy's got Bloodletting on here. Each opponent loses 2 life. And whenever you gain life the first time, this creature becomes prepared. So that's a nice little guy. And oh, there's Sonar. I guess it's Sonar, not Sonar. You know. So this guy ETB's prepared, and he has tap to add a treasure token. You make a treasure token, which is only if you cast an instant sorcery spell. And then his prepare spell is a tutor. So that's always nice.
Prismari did really good.
The Prismari is crazy.
Is immaculate.
Especially the dragon.
It's immaculate.
This is a fun fight spell. Your creature's not dying unless you're fighting a Death Toucher. Target creature gets +0/+10 for a 3-drop. Then it fights up to 1 target creature your opponent controls. So your creature's definitely not dying. Fix what's broken. This is a 4-drop. So people might be confused about this set. This is not a return X or less. It is return X value from your graveyard. So it's a little bit weird if you have a bunch of like 4-drops or 3-drops that you're trying to return. It's a great spell. But if you have a whole bunch of different ones in your limited environment, this is probably not the best card for you to run. But definitely good in the right deck. All right, we got Repel Calamity. We got little Mabel fighting. It looks like the wolf, which is just crazy. They just went crazy with the freaking set in this. All right.
I know what deck that's going to go into.
No, I don't have a mouse deck or anything. I have a completely Mabel mouse deck, and it's all about playing a bunch of mice, and and then you just play anthems, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, he has so many mice on the field. Whatever will he do?" They're all 1/2s, and then they just become 10/10s in a turn. It's so great. All right, on to the next pack here. We got Seize the Spoils, that weird giraffe thing again. Last gas. It's a nice little neg 2, neg 3, neg 3 interjection. Love the one drop stuff. This guy's getting counters if you're playing multi stuff. Draw 3 cards and you can put a land card on the battlefield from your hand on the battlefield. It's kind of expensive for 5, but nice and limited at least. Luret's Favor. This guy has the infusion, which is if you gain a life this turn, you get this effect.
Which again, green.
Green, you're gonna gain some life. Let me tell you.
Every turn.
Let me tell you, you're gonna be gaining all the kinds of life. We got that Bloodblading get. All right, we got the Slumbering Trudge, which they made an errata to. This card, it says it ETB's tapped. It doesn't ETB and then become tapped. This is the only card that they had to make an errata to because Wizards, in their playtesting, they're really good about that.
Ooh,
Oh, got
gorgeous.
Zombify. Zombify is always pretty. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Little 4-drop, really nice. Foil Spirit Mascot, Titan's Grave, and then little token cards that nobody ever uses. All right.
That's one thing about this set I find weird. I'm gonna have to go out and buy some more of those metal tokens.
I know, you're gonna have to.
Specifically for
You're
preparation.
gonna have to buy a whole new set of tokens because people are gonna misrepresent. Is this card prepared? And it's kind of funny how they made the prepared cards work because your creature becomes prepared and you own a copy of that spell in exile. And it's interesting how they made that effect. I'm sure they went through a bunch of stuff and that's the only way they could have made it work. But designers. So this is a bear. This is a crazy bear. It's a crazy common bear. It's a 1-drop that is a 1/1. An ETB is prepared with Rampant Growth attached to it. So turn 1 you play this, turn 2 you Rampant Growth. Yeah, that's totally not going to be an issue for Commander at all. All right, going through here, Repertory Rip. We got Deluge Virtuoso, Bibliopec Tomekeeper, Stadium Tattle Mage, Flow State, which is another great card draw spell because blue needed more of those. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them in your hand, and the rest of them bottom of your library in any order. Or, if there is an instant and a sorcery card in your graveyard, instead you put 2 of them into your hand. So a 2-drop draw 2, basically, if you freaking have actually just been playing the game, which is always nice.
I think that's gonna go on the mill deck.
Big ol' Sloth. We have a Mana Dork for 3, which is interesting. Oh, actually, this guy gets better with time when he gets counters on him, so that's pretty nice. Killian's Confidence. Comforting Counsel. Whenever you gain a life, put a growth counter on this enchantment. As long as there are 5 more growth counters on this enchantment, creatures you control get +3/+3.
And it was
As
talked about in green.
As a 2-drop, seems okay. In green, ooh, look at the squirrel getting freaking mighty with the giant growth. Gotta love it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Chad, I mean, I did just get a whole bunch of... which is also another thing we're going to try to attempt to do on here, guys. We will be doing Commander games. Whenever those decide to start coming out, it's a lot of setup and a lot of build-up. This is just a pack break, and then hopefully the Commander videos is where we kind of take off. All right, we got another cards going here. Ancestral Anger. Never heard of that card before. Look at this little guy. Little noxious newt. Little Death Toucher. Little
Love it.
2-drop
Love
Death
good,
Toucher. You gotta
kind
love a
of
little cute card, Got Masterful Flourish. Ascendant Dust Speaker. Render Speechless. The Archaics are always fun. And this guy gets bigger the more colors that you put into him, so it's really nice. You got a Hasty 3/3 horse. Oh, that's a horse. It's a knight, but it's always the horse. Gotta love a horse. You can almost do horse tribal now. Matter Bending Mage, and I think we're getting close to the rare. Ooh, all right. So these are pretty nice. 2 or more lands. They're called the slow lands, and we got a borderless in it. Not crazy value, but really good on any. Okay, we're pulling out here. We got Fracture. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker for 2. It's not a bad card to pull up.
Yeah, don't hate it.
Tome Blast into an island into an elemental token. All right. I think we're about a little over halfway through the box now. I don't think we hit anything crazy yet. Flusterstorm is pretty cool. The Bibliotech is pretty nice. I'm not entirely sure what all the value. I think it's mostly in the dragons. And then the good prepared mythics that are really nice. The Emeritus. We got another cool frog warlock that is breaking his neck to look at something. It's always fun. We got Stone Docent. Muse Encouragement. Pest Mascot. Homesickness. Garrison Excavator. Essence Scholar, Wisdom of the Ages. This is a interesting spell. It costs 7. You return all instant and sorcery cards from the graveyard to your hand, and then you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. I feel like they're printing this quite a bit, that no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. And then you exile it, so you can't do that again. All right, these are... Nope, this is the same cycle. So this is another one of those cycles that 2 or more lands. There's also another cycle in here that is going to be crazy for Commander. That is, it's 8 or more if your opponent's control. Bulk Up, this is a person turning into a wolf, I think. And it's a 2-drop that doubles your creature's power and has flashback. So if you have 8 mana laying around, you make a really big boy. Really big boy. We got Tome Keeper, Form of Sanctity, and a copy token. Okay. Moving on.
There ain't a whole lot of value in the set unless you're getting something big, but man, there's so many playable cards.
The only bad thing is they put them all in the mythic slot, and you're more than likely just gonna get uncommons, and that's magic for you. We got Muse, we got Strike Scholar, we got Efflorescence, Wander Off, Imperious Ink Mage, Arnon, Divergent Equation. We got Carol, Proctor Gauge, Magma Blood Archaic. It has Trample, Reach, and Converge, which is this creature enters with a 1/1 counter on it for each color. So I'm pretty sure how this works is if you pay the 3 red, he becomes a 5/5. But you can also substitute the colors for 2 basic mana. And then whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, creatures you control get +1. Oh, creatures you control get. That's crazy. Royal Treatment. We got a guy just sitting on a throne, hanging out. Looks like Cusco up there. We got a full Carol. That's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, so I got the Witherbloom pre-release kit, and I had so much fun destroying my enemies with a bunch of life gain, and they could not keep up. Because you got Witherbloom too, right?
Oh man, the Witherbloom's fantastic.
It is insane. It's so good. And then I pulled the dragon in my first little extra packs I got, which I wish I would have got that for the actual set. But okay, this guy's got Brainstorm attached to him. It's a 1-drop with Brainstorm, and it has tap to tap 2 untapped creatures you control. This creature becomes prepared, so you can just keep doing
brainstorming.
Just keep doing Brainstorm if you have a bunch of creatures. That seems fine. And we got our second Requisition Rage, which is... That's probably going to happen more often than not, because they made them all uncommons. There's no commons. And then they were also upgraded uncommons into mythics, which is awesome. Good old magic, right? Okay. We got Rearing Ember Mage, Burrowing Barrage, Cheerful Osteomancer, A Johnny's Response, Essence Scatter, Terrafractal, Inkling Mascot, Strixhaven's Sky Coach, Root Manipulation. We have Primary Research into an Arc of Hunger. Whenever 1 more cards leave your graveyard, this artifact deals 1 damage to each opponent, and you gain a life. And you can mill a card, and you can play that card this turn, which would trigger this artifact. Oh, can I? All right, our second stock up of the box. I feel like this is the only value we've been pulling is the stock ups.
It's a good card, though.
It's a great card.
It's a good card.
It's. I don't think it's ever gonna be out of standard. I mean, it still has like 2 years in the cycle, so it's a great card to be pulling. Our pile of trash is getting pretty big over here, but it's fine. We got Wild Hypothesis, Adventurer's Ear, Elite Interceptor, Chase Inspire. We got Seize the Spoils. Elemental Mascot, we got Tablet of Discovery, Campus Composer, Stand Up For Yourself, Mind Roots. We also got our first Paradigm card, which these spells are very interesting. They're obviously overcosted, but if you read this little text, it says, when you first cast this spell, you exile it, and then after you first resolve the spell with its name, you may cast a copy of it from exile without paying its mana cost as the beginning of your first main phase. So, if you don't remember, they made a Soulstone card that did this on your upkeep. So, if you're playing black-white, you can do this effect twice in a turn, as long as you got 7 mana. It's pretty nice. We got Bitter Triumph.
Just look at those cards.
Like who made this? Like this is just insane. This is just going crazy. All right, we got a rare that has Sign Into Blood on it. At the beginning of your second main phase, if you gain 2 or more life this turn, this creature becomes prepared. And then it has 2 black. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. So black always loves to get all life gain. I think that's our first rare in a foil. I think we're getting to the back third of the pack here of the box.
All the heat's gonna be in the back side.
I'm hoping, because I don't think we've really pulled anything too crazy. I think we're probably just
It's about the fun of the chase, though. You know how it goes.
That's very true. As all Magic players know, that your wallet's gonna be destroyed before the end of this. So we got a Petrified Hamlet. This spell is, or this land is kind of crazy. Whenever it ETBs, you choose a land card name, and then activated abilities and sorceries or sources with that. I can't read. Activated ability of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. So it just turns off some of the best lands in Magic for a rare land, which I'm sure this totally won't be played.
Oh no!
Oh no! We got Splatter Technique.
Love it.
This is a 5-drop, and you draw 4 cards, or it deals 4 damage to each creature and planeswalker. So if you can just copy this spell, you get both of those, which there's all... Oh, okay. So the most broken spell that was in Standard that got banned is this Monstrous Rage card, and they decided to print it again, but doesn't put it back into Standard, thankfully. We got the end of the pack. Nothing crazy back there. I think we're doing not terrible on this pack, Barrick. Obviously, you have to get to $150 of value to make these pretty good, but we'll see if we get anywhere close to that. Hopefully, we have something that's telling us where we're at on the value on this. Got Dual Tactics. We got... Oh, I haven't seen this one. It's another Merfolk Bard. This spell costs 3 less to cast a creature's toughness 10 or greater, and on ETB, it draws 2. So it's a freaking... that elemental that evokes for 3. What's that guy? Anybody? It's a pretty good one. Snoop Dogg. We got Molten Core Maestro. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, put a counter on this creature. If 5 or more mana spent, cast that spell. Add amount of red. Alright, that was awesome. Okay, Disdainful Stroke. 2-drop that counters with mana value for a greater spell. Seems very situational, but very, very nice.
Who doesn't love a counter spell?
Good old counter spell, you know. Dirty blue players. You always gotta love those guys.
As you go through and you all continue to watch, you see each of us are really set in our colors.
I wouldn't say
We're not
crazy.
We're not good people.
No. Some of us really like playing a blue control deck, and we all laugh at him when he does that.
and a white control deck.
And a white control deck. He likes turning the entire... He makes everybody not want to play the game
I like
anymore.
to play chess, not checkers.
This is very true. Which is nice about Magic, is it is chess. Moment of Reckoning. Choose up to 4. You may choose the same mode more than once. You destroy target non-land permanent and return target permanent card from the graveyard to the battlefield. So for 7, you can choose to return 4 creatures and or destroy 4 permanents. So I feel like it's better just a board wipe in a sense, but it's also still a good spell if you want to be selective. We got our second Paradigm. Target player creates a token that's a copy of target creature you control. So you can make other people make target permanents copies if you ever want to do that. And then it also has that Paradigm effect where you're going to cast it on each of your turn. All right, getting down to the end of this pack. I think we're going to start ripping through these faster than we already have been.
But we're enjoying it so much.
We're enjoying it so much. It's so great. Look at these. All these nice art. Art in this set is pretty nice. Not gonna lie. Oh, our first Empress. This is the regrowth one, which returns target card from your graveyard to your hand. And ETB is prepared. And then also, if it attacks and you control 8 or more lands, it becomes prepared again. So it makes itself pre-prepared in a very easy way, and it's a 3/4 body for 3. It's pretty nice, and it's elves. Nobody plays elves.
When this set released, I was like, you know what, green needs more ramp.
They don't have any more ramp.
There's not enough.
There's a crazy ramp spell in this, and then there's also this guy just ramps for you every turn basically.
They needed more because I feel like green was being left out.
Green is the most left out of the color types. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm
It's
with
obviously
you.
the most weak. I mean, there's nothing huge that you would want to ramp to anyways in
I don't
green.
know. I never have green in any deck.
I feel like white could use some a little bit. I got like land tax, and that's about it. Which land tax is actually in one of the new precons. Did you hear about that? They're just reprinting $40 cards in freaking precons now.
Yeah, for all the people that went out and bought one at $40, we're sorry.
Yeah, because that's a great deal. It's a very great deal. We got Lewin. I think we already have a Lewin. Tester of Tangential. We got another this guy. This is I think this is their third one of this guy. Ooh, Feed the Swarm. Always a playable spell. And look at the freak is that. That thing's going crazy. And he's killing all the humans. It kind of looks like a little solo leveling action out there with that bug. Okay. We are nerds of every type in this room, by the way. We will be talking about all kinds of stuff, including Marvel, which is the next set that will be coming out, Marvel Heroes, which I love this set, but I'm also a huge Marvel buff, so I will be having a lot of fun. This card's a little interesting. You discard another card named Page, and loose leaf Page. You reveal cards at the top of your library until you read an instant or sorcery card. Put that card in your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So you only have the potential to do that 3 times, but it's still an interesting spell. And a 2-drop mana dork is always nice. Okay, get into the rare here. Okay, Deathcap Glaive. So I think we have 3 of these lands now.
3 lands.
3 of these lands, which is not honestly what you want. We got the reprint of Shared Roots, which was just printed. And then we got some foils. The foils are being nice to us. I think we have 2 rare foils already. Not the best box I've ever opened of Strixhaven, to be honest with you, but still not too crazy. We got the cute little Newt, Master for Flourish, Ascendant Dust Speaker, Landscaper Painter, Tackle Artist, Rancor Archaic, Environmental Scientist. We got Molten Notes. This guy prepares a creature for 3. That doesn't seem fantastic. Ooh, we got the Frog Druid. I want to build this guy as a commander. It is a Frog Druid with Increment, and whenever 1 or more counters are put on Berta, you add a mana of any color, and then it has X. Create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, and put X/1/1 counters on it. So it kind of feels like a X spell deck would be fun with her. Ooh, we got the Turtle Wizard. He's got Increment on him, and he's a 1-drop 1/1. And if he dies, if it had 1 or more counters on it, you create a blue fractal creature token, then put this creature's counters on that token. So a nice little Turtle Wizard, which we all know what set just came out was the Turtles. Into a Dismember, which is a freaking awesome card. You pretty much is going to be a 1-drop kill spell for most things. Quick Study into a Summit into a Fractal. Okay. Getting down to it. I think we got 5 packs left. Hoping you guys are enjoying our first little pack break. I know it's probably going to be a longer video. Might have to cut some of it, but looking very nice.
Or leave it raw.
Or leave it raw.
Leave it raw.
There's nothing wrong
Y'all
with
can
raw.
see the errors of our ways.
always got to get a love raw, you know. Got another Wisdoms of Ages. Let's love repeats. Dreamer's Cascade. They're getting this whole set of lands in this one box. Kind of fun to get lands. And a Deduce. It's always good. And a foil Lewin. That's awesome. Okay. I don't know how I feel about getting all of those lands, but you know, it's good. We have a whole case to go through, so hopefully we don't get all of the lands of everything. Lands is not another bear with rampant growth on it. It's always good. Rabbit Attack, Prismari Charm, Summon Dromedary? Man, they're just coming up with words over here. Apply Geometry. Create a token that's a copy of target non-aura permanent you control, except it's a 0/0 fractal, and then you put 6 counters on it. So it's a 4-drop. It's a 4-drop 6/6. That's always nice. Got Helping Hand in there. A foil of the Frog Druid. Okay. 3 packs left. You always know you gotta get that last pack magic. So
I'm telling you, that green one right there.
that green right there.
That green one right there. We're about to pull the biggest heat in the entire box.
That's what we're hoping. We're hoping to pull that Vamp Tutor. I tell you what, it's really gonna match with the Demonic Tutor that I just bought right before this set was released. Got Omens, Stress Stream, Limeret's Favor. Oh, this guy was my pre-release all-star. Guy never dies, and he comes back for just exiling instant sorcery, and there's so many of those in this set. Duty Beyond Death, bro is a skeleton that is coming back to fight for his person. Okay, and we got more stuff here. Not too bad, not too shabby. I'm really liking this set overall, though.
Oh,
It's
fantastic.
it's a fantastic set, and I think everybody's gonna really enjoy the cards that they're gonna pull from it. And also, you might even make some money
I think
because
it's gonna bring Magic back to its roots too.
it's definitely doing that. It's been a while since Magic has kind of hit on a set. I think Lorwyn was a pretty good one to start with, and then going into pretty much the Harry Potter set, which is gonna bring a bunch of nerds back to it. We got Jadzi, Steward of the Fate. Don't say that name too fast. He's ETB's prepared, and when he ETBs, he draws 2 and then he discards 2. So nice little filter. And then he has X, X, and 1. Create an X green and blue fractal creature tokens. Sorry. You make X of okay, so this is kind of crazy. And then you put X1 counters on each fractal you control. So that's just kind of insane. If you can put a bunch of mana value into that, that's pretty much a game ender if you can keep him around. Ooh, a Braid, everybody's favorite 3-drop freaking 3 damage spell. Also a Destroy Artifact, which there's some artifacts that I would be very happy to kill in this set.
Prismari Elder Dragon too. That card is gonna be nasty.
That card's going to be disgusting because Prismari, if you didn't know, has Storm. All your instants and sorceries have Storm, which is always never the broken. I mean, there's definitely not. There was a little bit of path left on that card. Storm is there's nothing called a Storm meter, right? That is basically just the scuffed meter on stuff. Okay, I got last pack here. We got Wild Hypothesis, Adventurous Eater. We got Elite Interceptor, Pursue the Past, Fractal Mascot, Graduation Day, Growth Curve, Into an End of the Hunt. And we got Traumatic Critique, which it's another one of those deal damage, and you draw 2 and discard a card. And an X spell that you deal a bunch of damage to. And we got Spell Pierce as our last Mystical Archive card. Very cool. Into a Pest Brood Sloth. Into our Plains. Into our Fractal. So that was the first box break that we're going to be posting on this channel, guys. We had a blast doing it. And honestly, this whole set just feels crazy to me. With all the Mystical Archives cards and all the different rares and stuff that you can pull out of it, it's just an insane value, I think, and you should definitely go down to your local game store like Nexus, which is the game store that is going to be sponsoring us for a little bit. Who knows, maybe it might be a really good relationship to keep going, and they're giving us this cool space to open stuff for you guys, and hopefully we get to do a lot more openings, which we have a whole case to go through, so definitely going to be fun. And Colin, you got anything to say?
Oh man, I just really enjoyed the set, guys. If you have not had a chance to really get into it, play with your friends, pick up a box. Value-wise, guys, realistically, it's not an expensive set, and there's so much to do.
There's so much. It's gonna keep going, and I think if you get lucky, you just might pull something crazy out of it because
Absolutely.
the Mystical Archives cards, they're gonna be a little bit rarer, obviously, to hit the mythics out of it, but if you do pull, like, you pull a Vamp Tutor, you pull, what other ones? There's the, there's Kodamas, or not Kodama. The one that, if you have your commander out, you get both effects, and it's pretty much a game ender. Again, we're not fantastic into Magic. We love we love the game. We're not the smartest on it, but definitely a fantastic way to get started with this new set going, and we're gonna definitely keep going, and we also have some collector boxes to open too. This is just the start of it. I think probably the coolest card that we pulled was probably this Flusterstorm. That's
Fantastic.
fantastic. And then we also got Silver Quill, but I think a lot of people are going to be getting that Silver Quill. It's definitely the most frequent mythic you're going to be pulling. And it's still a great card, but the value on it is going to tank because people are pulling it so often. So definitely love the Flusterstorm, and I think that's everything for our first video, guys. So thank you for
We'll catch you on
watching.
the next one, guys. Thank you
Yep.
for watching.
See you guys later.